Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast brought to you by RCB College. Today, we are diving into an incredibly important topic called From Struggles to Strengths, the coping tools for refugees or the immigrants coming into a different country. Many individuals and families face immense challenges when they arrive into a new country, leaving behind everything in search of safety, security, and opportunity. Joining us is our very own medical office assistant and Uniclerc instructor, Mr. Maran. Mr. Maran, thank you for coming in once again.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to continue this topic because we are going to the core of issues step by step.
Okay, perfect. So, what are some of the most insignificant challenges refugees face when they arrive in a new country?
Yeah, of course, as you know from a previous podcast, there are many challenges moving to new countries for people that they are not familiar with the new culture. They don't know what expect to see. They don't know what is in the new country for them, and they are not prepared for the different issues that they're facing. The language barrier is one of them. The uprooted culture is another one. Cut off from their own culture, being away from family and friends that we already discussed, finding a job, economy issues, right? The psychological stress for adjusting to the new people, learning a new culture. This is another problem that they are facing, right? And also being isolated because they are not belonging to the new place and they don't know how to learn to belong, to connect to the new environment. These are the psychological challenges and individual challenges and also economic challenges that they are facing. And the question is, who is responsible? Only refugees? Only newcomers? Or if yes, why government try to help? And if only the government should try to help, or we expect locals, residents, to do something, taking an action and contribute in these kind of activities and attract people, help people, playing a role of mentor for newcomers.
All right. Okay. So, how important is the community support in helping those newcomers or refugees to adapt to the new environment?
Is very important, and I am trying to play the very primary role in actually explaining this issue. I want to be a pioneer to talk very clearly about the role of locals and residents to helping newcomers to adjust and adapt to the new situation. As you know, the immigration is a kind of an interaction between local and refugees. This is not one way relationship, that is a mutual relationship. That's why we need to understand that the local also can play a good role and contribute in helping refugees to adjust and adapt and learning a new culture. But this is not only learning new culture by refugees. That's, as I said, this is a mutual relationship. Locals also can learn something new from refugees, you
Yes,
know?
because they're bringing in new culture.
Yeah, of course.
Hmm.
That's a kind of a social connection
Yeah.
between two group of people. All right. The question is, if any bias in local against, I'm not talking about Canada, I'm talking about the world,
In general,
right?
yes.
In general, is there any bias, cognitive bias, and the stereotypical thought against refugees and newcomers that stop them from joining newcomers and inviting them to their own activities and events? Yeah, I believe yes. We have to search for such a cognitive bias and try to reduce it. There are some conflicts because the bias automatically creates conflicts, and they are not willing to join newcomers. I was in Turkey and I had the experience that there was a supermarket in our community that the local people didn't like to buy things from those supermarkets because the supermarket managed by a newcomer,
Hmm.
by a foreigner. That is the point. The goods produced and manufactured in the same country, just selling by a newcomer, by a foreigner.
Hmm.
But the people, local people, didn't like to buy. So there are many examples of such a bias that comes from a cognitive awareness. they are not aware of, the benefits of interaction with newcomers, right? That's why I think local can play a good and positive role in attracting, inviting locals if they have a, if they are holding and maintaining the positive attitude toward newcomers and refugees. They can invite them to the event, to the local event, and it facilitates relationship and adjusting to a new culture for refugees. So they can also play a role of mentor because there are many requirements, many needs in refugees. They are not familiar with the resources in the country. They don't know how to solve the issues. Even for a double duplicated key, they don't know where should go to duplicate it. Buying the things, they don't know how to get there. They are not familiar with anything. So that's why locals can play a role of father, a mentor, a teacher in neighborhood, right? Our job is telling them that you are very significant primary source of helping refugees to reduce the conflict. And I'm asking the government, instead of just providing food, language classrooms, or facilities for newcomers and refugees, try to teach locals that you are significant primary sources for being a mentor of refugees. Or at least you can, keep about think about money that you can, a budget for teaching locals to facilitate relationship between locals and newcomers, because they can help refugees and newcomers and immigrants to access to the resources and being a, how to say, community advocates, supporting refugees. uh, I've seen in Canada myself that there are some people based on their own personality, because of their own personality they are helpers, but this is not a dominant culture, right? This is not a dominant. We need to make it as a dominant culture, right? So,
So, talking about those changes, how can the host communities better support the refugees or the newcomers who are coming in their transition?
the government play a good role, to help and support newcomers and especially refugees, especially because there are many organizations, several organizations that they are attracting refugees and helping them. But if you are talking about locals, yeah, but in neighborhood, yeah, I've seen that the neighbors can provide information for locals. And the most important thing is psychologically they are isolated and they are not experiencing sense of belonging to the new environment. That's why if we send a message to locals that they are not enemies, that they are not coming to occupy and using the resources, they are coming to contribute and cooperate with you to in in the society prosperity, right? Yes, of course, local change their attitude to help them.
So, what will be the benefits for locals if they help refugees or the newcomers who are coming into the country?
They want to live in peace. So, as you know, the society includes two poles, host and newcomers and guest, host and guest. And that's the interaction between the two poles. And both of them should be concerned with the prosperity of the society. And of course, locals, they are very liable to their own country. I understand it. For Canada, that attracting immigrants and newcomers around the world, that is opportunity to find the talented people for attracting, right? And most probably, if you experience yourself, they are attracting talented people and professionals around them. Okay, then we can guess and assume that these people, newcomers, can in a future, but I don't know how long it takes when I'm talking about the future. Yeah, in the future they will be contributing in the society community prosperity. So We want to reduce the time. And this is a very big benefit for locals if they know how to deal with the newcomers and change and turn them into being a successful member of the society. That is one of the benefits.
Hmm.
If we start as soon as possible being a member that belonging to the society and make them, give them a chance, and being flexible, give them a chance and a space to express themselves, to feel sense of belonging, of course they'll be very soon, quickly, the helper, and I would say a supportive people, and positive, successful person for helping a society to improve. That is a benefit. And the second one, you are bringing people from different countries around the world, and it is a good class for you to learn what's going on in the world, learning the other cultures. Does it give them chance to teach you because they are professional? They are they were successful people that they had to leave the country. Do you know when they leave the country, it is a sign that the country did not accept them as the important people because they had some ideas against the government, and the government, exiled them, sent them out of the country because they did not bear with it, tolerate them. Normally, the creative people become refugees if you go through them. So that's why you are not using them as a friend, as a partner for reforming everything, improving the current situation in your society. That's the kind of a mutual learning. This is not a one-way learning that we expect them to learn what we are doing and practicing. How do you know that whatever you've done is correct? It is a kind of a dogma attitude toward the life. If you want to improve, as I know, Canadians are open-minded. All right? So if you are open-minded, why not open to new things that you receive from newcomers and give them a space, being flexible, and accept them? It is not a matter of respecting newcomers and refugees. That is a basic approach to people and new people, that just respect them. No, let them thrive. Let them be successful. Okay, attract them. It is a kind of an inclusivity, right? Let them be in, not just respecting them as a guest. Let them be a resident like others and locals. That is another benefit, mutual learning. And I in a new in the second podcast, I want to focus on this issue, the process of awareing local and increases and improving cultural intelligence in local people to be more flexible towards newcomers and immigrants. And also, there is another case, social cohesiveness. That is a concept from psychology. If we want to see a successful society, we need to take an action to make cohesiveness, to improve cohesiveness between a different part of a society and population. So, how many people of your country are newcomers? I can give you the statistic. In the first quarter of this year, 42,000 people came to Calgary only. So that is a big population. Okay?
Yeah.
Then if you are interested in increases integration, social cohesiveness, social integration, then you need to think about attracting them as a member and partner of your group. That is another benefit. And you will be in a peaceful life, finally. You shouldn't scare off a new people because you consider them as a brother, right? And no matter what is your religious background, that is another opportunity to learn about the rituals, the religious background, the religion, and the other social norms and the heritages. And it is a kind of a book. Every single newcomer can be a book. Why you are not? I know the Canadians are very, very interested in reading books. I've seen them. Why you are not reading a newcomers as a book? All right, that is the benefits, and we have also discussed about the different factors and beneficial points, but I think it's enough for today. Let's talk in the coming podcast focusing on coexistence intelligence and cultural intelligence in uh, host country, in local people, to increase the social cohesiveness and integration. And we'll have, if God willing, we will have a very integrated society without a bias and conflict between the two group of people.
Definitely. Welcoming community is not only about providing assistance, but also it's about enriching our lives and also with the diverse cultures and perspectives.
Yes, sure.
Thanks so much for coming in, Mr. Miran. Together, we can definitely make some significant differences in our lives and also in the lives of newcomers coming into the country as well. Don't forget to subscribe and for more enlightening conversations. Let us know your thoughts for this topic in the comments. And until next time, take care and stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you.